Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. If it's your first time, please don't forget to subscribe so you stay updated with new videos and new content that will help your journey learning Portuguese language. My name is Sofia and this is Learn Portuguese with Sofia. Today's video it's a little bit unusual, so it's out of what I have been doing. But I felt really called to share with you something that I find very important in the journey of learning the language. And this is exposure to the language. So what can you do to expose yourself to the language so you not only train your brain to get used to hear, but you also train yourself to find the understanding of the words that are being spoken in real time, real life. And for me, a top recommendation, and it's something that I recommend because I also use it for myself, is using movies and series. So whenever I am diving into a new language, I find it really important to watch movies and series from the country of the language I'm learning and adding subtitles. It becomes like a mental game of trying to pick it up the words that I'm listening versus what I have presented in the subtitles and still catching up with the story. This is very good because at the beginning, a lot of us tend to I want to understand everything, every single word. And so when someone is speaking to me and I don't understand, I'm just switch off. And the movies are great exercises because you are relaxed and you find yourself not having to understand every single word, but wanting to understand what is the movie about. So today's movie is about recommendations of movies and series. These are movies and series that you can watch online and that will help you to improve your language skills and become familiar with pronunciation. So without further ado, let's get started. My first recommendation is one of my favorite series available on Netflix, and this is Glória. Glória is a spy thriller set during the Cold War in a small village called Glória in Ribatejo. This is a story full of intrigues and twists, and it gives you also an overview of what happened in Portugal during the dictatorship. I think you will love this recommendation. My next recommendation is Rabo de Peixe. This is also a series available on Netflix. It is a very good production and it tells the story of a group of friends that live in a small island in Açores. This is beautiful landscapes and I find it a very interesting story and also a very interesting insight of what is like the life in the islands. You not only get an overview of the drama and the story, but also what it's like to live in a small island and what is the mentality of many Portuguese people living in these secluded areas. The show tells the story of a fisherman in Açores called Eduardo who gets involved in a huge shipment of cocaine. It's a very funny story. It has some parts of drama and thriller, but overall it's just a very interesting and breathtaking series. The next recommendation is Vanda. This is also a series. It is available in Hulu and it's another fascinating story and it's also based in a true story. This is a story of a woman, the drama of a woman who tries to rebuild her life, and through this process she becomes a bank thief. This is also based in a true story. My next recommendation is Os Gatos não têm vertigens. This is a little bit of my guilty pleasure. You will not find it that easy on internet once it's not one of those wow production movies full of like advertisement, but in my opinion it's a very sweet and beautiful movie. This movie it's about the friendship between a teenager and an elderly lady, and it's very beautiful to see how connections change people's lives. This is also a less stimulating movie for your nervous system, but it's still a very delightful experience, and in my opinion, one of my best and favorite movies of all time. Next, we have Herdade. Herdade is very interesting movie that shows you what is the reality and the impacts of political and social changes in Portugal. I really recommend you to watch this one as well as some of the movies I have recommended before, and gives you an overview what is like from the view of a local, a view of a Portuguese. This is essential not only when you want to understand the language, but when you also want to understand the people in the place where you chose as your home. So, a Herdade. And if you are into something much more lighter, I will recommend Até que vida nos separe. This is a series that follows a family of wedding planners and how they deal with the ups and downs of their own relationships. It's light, it's funny, and sometimes it's a little bit dramatic. For music fans, this movie is for you. The next recommendation is called Variações. This is a portrait of one of the most iconic and influential musicians and singers in Portugal. The name of this musician is António Variações, and this movie portrays his journey from a hairdresser to a rock star. This is like my top picks, and so I'm also sharing a little bit of what I really enjoy and marked my journey, and that I find it has all these little twists of like Portuguese language, culture, life, social life, political life. So these are my top recommendations in which you get like an overview of a little bit of everything, what it's like to be a Portuguese. So I hope this helps. I hope you enjoy these recommendations. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, and I will challenge you, leave a comment about a movie that you have watched from this section, from this series of recommendations that you really like. Leave in the comment box your favorite one. I hope to see you soon. Thank you so much for your support. Até já!